Hello, my name is Peter Isisele. Today I want to be sharing with you my educational journey all the way from my primary school to my PhD. Some people call it elementary school, but we call it, in Nigeria, we call it primary school. So, all right, let's get started. So when I started the very first time I had to go to, primary school, what they call elementary school now. So the very first one, primary one, elementary one, as we call it now. So I went there with my dad, and then I was very scared, leaving them at home for the very first time. I was scared, but like you just have to go to school, you have to just stay there. So I cried, but I just had to stay there, and then so we wrote exams in that first, term. I came out third position. I was excited, and then in the second term, I came out second, and then in the third term of that first year in school, then I came out first position in my class. I was excited, and then that was in primary one, and then in primary two, first, second, and third term I was top of my class, and then primary three, first term, second term, third term I was top of my class. Primary four, first term, second term, third term I was in the top of my class, and I took first position. And then when I got to primary five, first term I took first, and then second term I remember. Okay, so my school, they said, oh, this guy, you good, let's enroll you for the for the common entrance, or the exam you write before going to junior secondary school, which the junior high school as we'll call it here. So they enrolled me for that exam, and then so I had to go to kind of a class ahead, and then I went there, wrote the exam, and I passed. And then that was a story from my primary school, always making my parents proud, and then I was now going to secondary school, junior secondary school, then, I was a bit scared in terms of, how am I going to relate with people from different, elementary and primary schools, all around the city, they are going to beat me, right? They are going to top the class. Was just very scared, because these people are really, they are really the people that, get a lot of things, right? There are people that, some of these schools are really tough schools. So I was a bit scared, but well, I continued, and then junior secondary. Yeah, junior secondary one. So I think I came out first time. I think I came out second. I can't remember, but I think I came out second in the first exam that I wrote in the first term. And I was like, oh man, I have to try harder. And then I tried harder. In second term, I came out first position, and then in the third term, I also came out first position. And then the second year, which is junior secondary year two, I was top of my class from first, second, and third term. And then in the third year, junior secondary theory, I was also top of my class in the first term, second term, and then we wrote the junior school certificate exams. Then I can remember, and then I went to the senior secondary, first term, I came out first position, second term first position, third term first position, and then second senior secondary 2, I was also top of my class, and then senior secondary 3, I think the first time I came out first position as well, and then in the second term, I think I came out second position. So it was like, starting off with second position the very first semester, the very first term, and then ending also with the second position. Then that was when I have to write the WAEC exam, so I wrote my WAEC, I passed. I also wrote my NECO as well, and I passed. And then I wrote, it was that time to think about what they want to study, entry the high school, university. I wanted to write, study medicine. So I wrote JAMB. I scored really high, more than 250 in my JAMB then. And then, so I wrote post-UME for medicine at the Ambrose Ali University. I couldn't get a medicine, even though my score was high, but it wasn't up to the score that they required, and then the second year I wrote JAMB again, I even scored high, I think 256, yeah. And then, so okay, this should be good enough. At that point in time, I had to apply for biochemistry, so I applied for biochemistry, and then I was a bit scared, how am I going to pass this post-UME, because in Nigeria, when you, after you're writing your JAMB the exam you write after you graduate from high school, then once you pass that, you now have to prepare for another exam, entrance exam by the university. And then I wrote that exam, I was a bit scared, there were a lot of people, and then, I wrote the exam, I passed, I came out top, of my department. I was actually the one that had, the highest score in that exam that we wrote, and then my name came out, in the merit list. My admission was very sure, and then I was still a bit scared, like, oh, there are going to be students from different high school all around the city or outside of the city coming to the school, so how am I going to bring out the very best of myself, but we continued it, first 100, the first level, 100 level, that was the year one of my university. I tried, I did well, and then I discovered that, oh, I'm also leading in my class, and then I just have to continue that, by second year, my CGPA was already, more than 4.5, and then I was discovered that I can actually make a first class if I actually continue with that pace. So I just have to, study more and, put in my very best to from first year to final year, I finally ended up with a CGPA of, 4.6 something, 4.6 something. So I came out top of my department, top of my faculty, and then I think in that year I was the second overall best in my school, which was really very interesting and fascinating. And then after that, after my youth service, then I came to Canada for my master's, and then I also did very well, scored A in most of all of my courses that I did, and then my PhD now, and then I'm also I also scored like A's in all of the courses that I've done, except the ones we have during pandemic. There was really no grade; they just called it credit or no credit, especially the first. That was in winter of 2020 because of the pandemic that just started. So that has been my story. I wouldn't say I'm the smartest. I usually attribute everything to the grace of God. As a Christian, I pray about everything. I believe the grace of God is really what has preserved me. Is really what has really been keeping me going right from the very beginning. So I don't attribute anything to expertise, or luck. It's just the grace of God has really, really been keeping me, been preserving me, has been giving me the strength to do all of the things that I needed to do, and I'm very grateful to God for that. So your story can be even more inspiring than mine, but I always believe that God has, a bigger plan for me. He's not done with me yet. He still have greater and bigger things for me. So what part of the story really inspired you? So you can leave it in the comment section below, and then I'll respond. If you want to know more things about me, you can feel free to ask any question. Whenever I read through your comment, I'll respond to those questions whenever I can. So thank you so much for watching this video. If this is the first time coming to our channel, do wait to hit the subscribe button so that whenever new videos are released, you'll be the first person to get notified of my videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you.